Hey, what's up? Welcome back. So I ended up having to I had to restart my computer. Um, so yeah, that was interesting. I don't know exactly what happened. I don't know if my CPU got overloaded or I don't know what happened. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. That's never happened before. So that was interesting. I'm not even sure if there was something I could fix without restarting my computer. So we'll just call this part 2 of episode 17. That's super annoying that I had to restart my computer to do that though. I want to check something real quick. It's just so weird. That's never happened before. I've streamed for hours, and that's never happened. While recording in OBS as well. So, hopefully that was just a one-off, one-time thing. Man, that was crazy. Oh man. Walking around. Gotta love it. So I just recently finished Final Fantasy 1 for the first time. That was fun. I think I'm gonna make a video about that and just my experience and how I felt about actually getting to start from the very beginning. Like I've never got to play those games, and I've always wanted to. So I'm really happy that the Pixel Remaster is out now. So I just started number 2 last night. I didn't get very far though. I'm not even out of the first town yet. I think I was just exploring, and then I went outside and fought a couple monsters, and then I went to bed. And it took me like 21 hours to platinum Final Fantasy 1. So it wasn't too bad. I think like the biggest thing was biggest things that I had to do was the bestiary or the bestiary or however you want to say it. And then the making sure I got 100% of the chests. And it's funny because I had to backtrack. I had to go back and just like I had to follow a list because I realized like I thought I was being very like vigilant on opening the chests, and I realized I had missed a few. So I had to go back, and fortunately it was the fire mountain where I had missed like one room of like maybe like 3 chests, but I'd already had missed like 1 or 2 chests in another place too. So luckily I didn't have to get too far down the list to get 100% on the chests, because that would have sucked. I was really like starting to wonder like how much I had missed, but luckily it wasn't too bad. I had missed like maybe 5 chests in total, maybe, from like 3 different places. So there was like 1 chest I missed in one place in Marsh Cave, then there was 1 I missed in a castle, and then those 3 in the mountains. So that was fortunate. A Mistal youth with blue hair has made off with Alphinaud's Perdos. Track him. Locate the blue-haired Mistal youth. Okay. Oh crap, I forgot to do this. Okay. I gotta like pinpoint him with this camera. Ah, there he is. There he is. Got him. Got him. Shoot him. Shoot him. You have located your quarry. Nova, any sign of him? You have a keen eye. Let us move in before he makes good his escape. I'm on it, Alphinaud. Let's get him.
There you are.
There you are, you thief.
The thief who claims the harvest on my behalf. Hand it over.
Well, forgive me. I have to get into the city. I have no family, and all my friends have already been chosen. No one here gives a damn about me. Look, when the meal gets handed out, I'm lucky if I get a smell of it. No matter what I do, they won't call out my name. I'm so tired, I'm so bloody hungry. I thought maybe I could steal your idea. Get in that way.
What is your name?
Kai Shear.
Tell me then, Kai Shear. Must it be Yulmore or nothing? What of the Crystarium? They may not offer charity, but you would be fairly compensated for any work you did.
No, it has to be Yulmore. That's where all my friends are. We made a promise that we'd live together in paradise.
I was to make my deal with the Ondo at the Clave. Listen carefully, and I shall tell you my plans for the business, and how best to arouse the Yulmorans' interest.
You'll give me your place? Just like that?
I'm giving you a chance, nothing more. What comes of it is entirely up to you.
I understand. Oh, thank you, thank you!
This was but one path. There will be others. But for young Kai Shia, it was the difference between life and death. I do not regret my decision, yet I will admit that a part of me wonders if it was for the best. We strive to bring swift salvation to this world, that countless lives might be saved, not least your own. Even if it came at the cost of one man, should I have forged on regardless?
It's not who you are.
I suppose not. Were Estinian here, he would most likely scoff at my soft-heartedness.
Same old Alfino, ever the slave to sentiment.
But I thank you for your kind words nonetheless. Let us see to it that both these stories have a happy ending. Shall we return to Wright then? Is that? I can't be sure, but I think someone's in trouble.
How did he see that from that far away as he's walking?
Come on, they may need our help.
That's crazy, man. I can't believe he saw that. That should take care of the worst of his injuries. Mercy, mercy, I beg you. Breathe easy, sir. breathe easy, sir. No harm will come to you here. The poor man is shivering. Pray keep an eye on him while I get a fire going. I thought for certain I was dead. How am I ever going to repay this kindness? We'll settle for the tale behind your current predicament. Why don't you begin by telling us your name? Tristal. I was invited in to Elmore to work as an artist. A wealthy couple took me in to paint pictures for them, but when my style proved contrary to their taste, they just as quickly turfed me out onto the street. I was left penniless and patronless, a grave sin in Lord Valthry's city. Within days they had brought me before the man himself, and he asked me what I meant to do. Dejected as I was, I told him that I wished to leave. Little did I know how soon he would grant me my wish. They flung me over the balustrade into the goddamn ocean. Man. From up there, how were you not dashed into pieces? Don't ask me. Luck, I suppose. Though if you hadn't found me when you did, it wouldn't have counted for much. Monstrous. And the citizens condone such barbaric punishment? Oh, without a second thought. When Lord Valthry passes judgment, no one so much as blinks, let alone argues. In Ilmore, his word is law. It's crazy. The more I hear about Ilmore, the more determined I am to see what awaits within its walls. I shall bend all my thoughts towards securing another way into the city. There must be something we can do. But first we shall convey Tristal to the shelter of the village. Fire or no fire, he needs to be out of this chilly coastal air. Away into the city? Pray accept my deepest gratitude. I owe you both my life. And if you'll permit me, I will assist you in your attempt to enter Ilmore, insofar as I am able to, at any rate. To be frank, the thought of sending my saviors into that awful place makes me sick to my stomach. But since it plains you've set your minds on it, you should take this. It's my favorite paintbrush. The Ilmoran elites are never satisfied until they get exactly what they want, and if I'm not mistaken, the couple I mentioned will be looking for someone to replace me. If you make a show of owning such a well-used brush, you may be able to convince people you have a talent for painting. Are you certain this is your livelihood? We cannot deprive you of such a treasured possession. I give it gladly after all you've done for me. Besides, I can't. I don't think I have the heart to paint anymore. As to what I'll do instead, I honestly haven't decided. But I shan't stay long in this place, not with this city brooding over me. Nay, I'll move on to a new lands and a new profession, and I'll keep you in my prayers from now until my dying day. Bloodfest. What is that? Draws etheric energy from target, adding 2 cartridges to your powder gauge. Hmm. Hmm. They say kindness is its own reward, but Tristel has repaid us with a gift as timely as it was unexpected. We will, however, need to act upon this advice before another painter steps in to fill a vacancy. Thankfully, I do have some modest skills with a brush. Nothing approaching that of a true artist, of course, but enough to play the role I would hope. As for you, well, if you don't mind taking a subordinate role, mayhap you could pose as my assistant. This is settled. All we need to do now is return to Gate Town and await the next appearance of those vile jesters. Where's this quest? There's like 2 of these ether quests. Elise appears to have been waiting for your arrival. Excuse me, but you're the lady Elfenod was traveling with. You're the lady Elfenod was traveling with, aren't you? I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. Oh, Nova. Nova, how lovely to meet you. My name is Elise, and I'm the acting village mayor. I was hoping someone of your talents would pass through right before long. The thing is, I need to visit someone up at Stonegazer, but I'm afraid to walk the path alone. Do you think you could provide an escort? My thanks. I couldn't bring myself to ask one of the villagers. You see, there was an incident a while back where a veteran band of hunters was badly mauled. Simply mentioning that it's unsafe to wander outside the village these days would be enough to bring back memories of that grisly scene. Which is why it's been so difficult to even bring up the subject. But such does not change the fact that the roads are indeed dangerous. Pray meet me on the path to the north and be prepared to fend off the wildlife. Let's just do this one first. Sick. Actually, I like it right where it is. That actually works perfectly. What did I tell you? I was barely 10 steps out of the village. Come, let us hurry along before more predators have a chance to gather. Man, you can tell this game. You can tell that Final Fantasy 16 was made by these people. It's like the same quest. Same kind of quests. And I'm not hating on 16. I actually like 16 a lot. But definitely can tell. The Final Fantasy 16 quests are very, like, MMO-like. Thank you for your escort, Nova. This is the gentleman I wish to speak with, so we needn't go any further. Say, Luke. Are you wandering around by yourself out here? You know what kind of creatures lurk beyond the borders of the village. Oh, well, if it isn't Clifton's little girl. Something I can do for you, lass? Yes, sir. I came for an answer to my proposal from the other day. Have you given any thought to taking over as villager mayor? I'm doing the best I can in the interim, but I have neither the age nor the wisdom to continue in the role, and the rest of the villagers agree with me. I'm fairly sure I told you nay once already. But seeing as you found a guard just so you could come and talk to me, then mayhap I will consider the idea, in exchange for a few small tasks. You will? Please tell me what I need to do. My friend Clifton, your dear father, was looking for a sickle to cut some rope. Would you mind skipping back to the village and borrowing one for me? Why would you... I mean, a sickle, was it, for cutting rope? That shouldn't be too difficult. I don't trust this guy. I had only meant to ask you along for one trip, but if I'm to complete these tasks, would you be willing to indulge me a while longer? That's never good music. What's he looking at? Good day to you, young Elise. You look a little flustered, dear. Was there something I could help you with? And a good day to you, madam. I was actually hoping to borrow a sickle. Is that all? Here, you can take this one. I have several spares, so there's no rush in returning it. Doing a spot of harvesting, are you? My thanks, but it's not for me exactly. I was asked to bring one for my father. Your father? Shadows saved me. Forgive me, if you're to accompany me in these tasks, then you deserve to know the whole story. It was my father, Clifton, who was the former mayor of Wright. And the incident I spoke of earlier was something that happened a year ago. One day, a stray sin eater came prowling around and slaughtered nearly half the village. It was a waking nightmare. Some of the villagers blamed my father. They said it was because he refused to accept the protection of Eelmore. The sheer scale of the tragedy and the accusations that followed wore away at his conscience, until finally he could bear the guilt no longer. He hanged himself. Say Luke, the old man we spoke to, was his closest friend, but considering how he worded his request, it seems he's reluctant to accept the fact that of my father's death. Still, I will see this task to its end. Let us bring him the sickle, shall we? Salute. Sir, we've brought the sickle as you've asked for. Oh, good, good. Old Clifton will be glad to see this. Oh, sir. Thank you for staying with me, Nova. This might be harder than I expected. Is he like hanging up there or something? Strictly here for ether current right now. A Tyrannosaurus flying. It's hilarious. Oh, who are you? Cough, forgive me. It's not often we see travelers in Wright. Well, with how dangerous it is hereabouts. I even worry for my husband taking the road down to the shipyard, and he's as strong as a Talos. He has been gone a good while, though. If you're headed that way, could you please let him know his wife is expecting him home? I hear something. It sounds like a what's it called? It sounds like an ether current. shoot. Let me jump. Something I can do for you, stranger? Well, beat me with a hammer. Has it been that long? I was aiming to salvage the planks from this old hole, but she's giving me more trouble than I bargained for. Bit of a waste to leave all this lumber lying around. Not much call for seaworthy ships since the light ate up half the world, you understand? So I reckoned it were better for a woodworker like me to put it to good use. These boards, though, they're so tightly joined, I can't pull the bleeding things loose. Here, do me a favor and sprinkle some of this powder on the joints along the keel. I'll keep working on this and with any luck I can make it home before the wife stomps down here to fetch me herself. That should do the trick. Powdered fire crystal is the best thing for melting wood glue. Just pour in a little water and steam, and the steam will take care of the rest. This ought to be a one-man's job, thanks to you. This ought to be a one-man job now, thanks to you. Oh, and if you could let Theanos know, I'll be done within the hour. Then you'll have helped me out of 2 rough spots today. An angry wife is definitely a scary prospect. I wish I could like jump between like one side and jump to the other side. That'd be dope. But the jumping isn't that elaborate in this game. At least I don't think so. I know there's people that do the Kagane Tower. He's alright then. Well, that's a relief. Fright's had its share of troubles, and a wife does worry. What? He had you helping strip planks? The cheek of that man. Still, we're lucky his father taught him the trade at all, even if he uses those skills to take ships apart instead of building them. A woodworker puts food on the table, so I'm grateful to his family for keeping up their traditions. And I'm grateful to you for bringing me peace of mind. Please take this for your kindness. I am kind of curious about that quest now, though. Not gonna lie. It did pique my interest. I'm grateful to have you with me, Nova. Thank you again. So, Luke, sir, I believe you had more tasks for me. Still here, are you? Yes, tasks. There's a Talus of mine that's taking far too long to make its return. Probably busy tussling with some dim-witted predator. Go and see how it fares, and chase off anything slowing it down. But all the... you mean that Talos. Pray follow me... pray follow my lead, Nova. We'll find the Talos in question to the southwest of here, and I've no doubt there'll be dim-witted predators, aplenty for you to deal with. Phew, I'm glad you were here. They must have buried it beneath the plates. Or burrowed beneath the plates. I know Sir Luke implied the Talus was still moving, but as you can see... Once upon a time, there'd be a line of these contraptions hauling materials down to the shipyard, step by ponderous step, which incidentally is how the slow road supposedly earned its name. But after Daedalus Stoneworks closed down some 15 summers ago, there was no one left to make or maintain their creations. One by one, the Talus slowly fell into disrepair. This peculiar worker was damaged during the Stray Eater rampage, and it hasn't shifted an ilm ever since. It was always Saluk's favorite. Come, let us make our report. Say Luke, sir. Say Luke, sir. Nova has cleared away the pests who are bothering your Talos. It should be left alone for the time being. Ah, excellent news, but I expect he'll need a good polishing when he returns. The most troublesome ones are often the most endearing, eh? Oh, sir. You've done me a fine service, thank you. Indeed, thank you, Nova. I never could have fought such creatures myself. If I might impose upon you for the next task as well. Thank you again for staying. I honestly cannot do this without you. Say Luke, sir, were there any more tasks you had for us? Just one last thing. I want you to gather some pretty flowers from the split hole as a gift for my darling wife. She went out for her usual walk, but has not yet deigned to come home. I fear I've said something to sour her mood. I understand. We shall gather a lovely bouquet for her then. Well, Nova, will you accompany me to the Cape for some flower picking? Sure. That was the wrong one. Oh, that's such a good ability. Woo! This is almost pleasant, isn't it? Aside from the aggressive wildlife, of course. I should tell you about Say Luke's wife. She was killed in the Eater incident, although I imagine you already suspected as much. They made such a sweet couple. Every day they would walk up this cape, hand in hand, and we would gaze out over the flowers with this warm, contented smile. Seluk himself had some training as a warrior. He would guard her as if she were a princess. And he her gallant knight. Sob, I'm sorry, it's just wounds of the heart are slow to mend. That they are. And simply having someone there. Excuse me. Stretch. That they are, and simply having someone there to share the grief can be enough to carry us through another day. It has been but a year, and we are all still suffering. Some seek to bury the misery beneath cheery faces, and others are yet trapped in the memories of the past. Say Luke, I fear, is one of the latter. But if a bouquet of flowers is what it takes to help him work through his sadness, then I would pick every bloom from this cape. Will you give me a hand to find some of the prettier flowers? Pray think of it as a tribute to the deceased. Let's see what we have. Yes, these are beautiful, thank you. Siluk will be pleased. Let's take them back to Stonegazer before they get crushed in some scuffle. Sorry, I just had an idea for glamour that I didn't even think about before. We made it, and the flowers are none the worse for wear. Say, Luke, Nova and I have returned with a bouquet for your wife. Ah, splendid, thank you. Now perhaps she will come. She will come back, too. Sir. At least forgive me, I have asked such cruel things of you. And I must apologize to you as well, Nova. My beloved wife, my dear neighbors, so many gone. After it happened, despair became my only company. I could not even save my closest friend when his torment was plain for all to see. I could never forgive myself. So I embraced this delusion, thinking that maybe if I tried hard enough, if I truly believed they were still alive, the events of that day would fade away like the nightmare it was. But I succeeded in only hurting those around me. I understand why you did what you did, sir. Truly I do. You always were such a sweet child. I will place the flowers you brought on her grave. She would have loved them. As for me assuming the role of mayor, I am so sorry, but I cannot give you a decision just yet. I knew he was going to do that. Take as long as you need. In fact, I might need a little more time to recover myself. Nova, if you could give me a moment or two. Thank you for your patience, Novus. Seluk still appears to be wrestling with his thoughts, but perhaps we can help him come to a decision. Sir, I don't mean to press you, but might you have arrived at an answer to my proposal? Dude, seriously? She just... not exactly, no. There's another matter I have yet to reconcile. Would you mind sharing this matter with us? Well, it goes back to the days that the Eater attacked the village. I was taking my turn as a lookout here at Stonegazer. It's a duty we take very seriously. They say when the tower was originally built in the time before the flood, they were worried about dwarves and mountain bandits, but these days... Yes, there is far worse prowling around, and I failed to spot it. The Sin Eater which came that day did not appear as the other monstrosities I've seen. From a distance, it simply looked like a person. I wanted to be sure before I rang the warning bell, but I waited too long. Many who could have fled died because of my hesitation. How could a man of such faulty judgment ever serve you as a mayor? What comfort can I offer those whose loved ones were needlessly slain? None. Not whilst the abomination itself yet roams free to kill again. You would take vengeance on our behalf? That is good, for we are powerless before its might. Should the Eater show its cursed face again, then I pray you are as strong as you appear. I know nothing of the roads you have walked or the battles you have fought, so I can but echo what Seluk has said. Our prayers will be for your victory. Well, sir, you've heard Nova's words. Talk of vengeance aside, I do not believe the villagers, either living or dead, hold you responsible for the actions of that monster. And yet I cannot fault you for wanting to remain distant. Pray forgive me for pestering you so. Nay, 'tis I who should beg for forgiveness. Though you've lost as much as anyone, I left you to shoulder the burden of leadership alone. All will be well with you back among us again. Come, let us return to the village. As I have said, it's unsafe to linger out here for long. Nova, one last escort back to Right, if you would. My thanks for your protection, Nova, not to mention your unfailing patience. It is my hope that now Seluk has unburdened his mind to us, his heart will be that tiniest bit lighter. I, for one, feel ready to face another day. After all, I have my friends and neighbors here to help me face it. There was one last thing I wanted to show both of you and Seluk. It has to do with the Right's traditional industry. If you were interested in taking a look. Oh, good. I was worried you'd had enough of me. My last errand for you, then, will be to have a word with Seluk. and bring him to the barley fields at the front of the village. I'll be there tending to the crops until you arrive. She seems fully capable to me. Ah, Nova, I'm grateful for your understanding and the flowers you brought. My wife would have very much approved of this selection. Now, was there something you wished to discuss with me? And Ulysses wants me there as well, does she? We had best head over to the fields then. This is what I wanted to show you. This barley crop right here. This is what your father's plot, wasn't it? I mean, this was your father's plot, wasn't it? You've been tending to it in his absence. Every single day, I wanted to see his plans come true. His plans? Yes, he dreamed of restoring things to how the history books said they once were, before the flood ruined everything. Our village has long been known as a place of artisans. Even the name, Wright, is a nod to all the craftsmen that once made their home here. In years gone by, it is said a line of tellers would stretch down to the road's arms bearing lumber, and the shipyard would echo with the calls of shipwrights hard at work, and when the day was done, they would gather here to share an ale in the village. My father, he hoped to brew the traditional Wright ale with the barley from this crop, to one day tap a barrel with his family and dear friends and raise a toast to the future. The music dropped again. Salute, Nova. Will you raise a mug with me when that day comes? Of course I will. Ah, but my dear girl, the land here does not nourish the crops as it once did. I fear it will be some time ere you'll have barley fit for the ale you have in mind. In the meantime, will you help me with the rest of Clifton's plans? The rest? He wanted things the way they once were, did he not? Then we must first recover from the tragedy which was visited upon us. There is no simple solution, but I mean to do what I can to lead our community out of this mire of pain and grief. Assuming you are still willing to have me as a mayor. Yes, of course, sir. Thank you. I was set to live out the rest of my life in denial, but you and Elise has opened the eyes of this old fool to what needs to be done. And for that you have my thanks. Now I had best get to work. I have folks to talk to and plans to make. When you're finished here, Ulysses, I should appreciate your assistance. The sound going out on my live streams. So this is the second time in 2 streams. And it's never happened before. I'm gonna have to figure that out. It's not good. Well, Nova, I think this is where we finally part ways. Thank you again for all you have done for us. The people of Wright will go on, even under the weight of our sorrow. It might not happen this day or the next, but together we'll find ways to make things better, to recapture the prosperity this village once had. I look forward to when you next visit. With any luck, I'll be waiting to put a frothing mug of Wright brewed ale in your hand. Okay. I feel bad. I left Alphino hanging. He's probably like, where is Nova, man? Anyhow, that's gonna be the end of this stream. That's gonna be the end of the stream because obviously I gotta figure out the sound issue that I keep having, and I definitely don't want to start up another part to this if it's gonna do it again. Anyhow, appreciate you for coming. If you're watching now or you're watching in the future, take care. Peace out.